Hi folks, this is Karim Rauf from IT Visualizer channel. We will continue our lab, the Terminator labs, the video number 14. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We have discussed theoretically how we will migrate our primary domain controller from an operating system Windows Server 2012 R2 to an operating system Windows Server Datacenter 2022. It is not an on-place upgrade. We have created a new virtual machine and it is joining the domain and it is acting as an additional domain controller, and then we will migrate the Vesmo roles from the primary domain controller to this additional domain controller. After this migration, the additional domain controller will be converted to primary domain controller, and the old domain controller after the migration will be a normal additional domain controller. This we have discussed in the previous video. We will do this step, or we will do this process using three scripts. The first script will migrate the Vismo roles. The second script will migrate some shared folders on the primary domain controller. We have discussed what does this shared folders contain. Basically, it contains the backgrounds that are set as a desktop background on all of the servers and workstations in the domain, and some registry keys that are applied to users when logging in to the domain. So these are on a folder shared on the primary domain controller. So we will have a script to migrate these folders and put it on the new primary domain controller, and we will have a third script to set the new primary domain controller to sync its time with an external NTP servers. Okay, we have done this in the old primary domain controller in the beginning of the lab. So we have three scripts we need to apply. So let's see that practically. We have discussed all of this script theoretically, and we have a graph explaining the migration process as a whole. Please refer to part 1 of this video. Okay, today we will do the part 2 process. So let's see how this migration process will be done. So we'll do this, and here we go. We'll open the Oracle VirtualBox interface or program, and then we will open the old primary domain controller, and this is the additional domain controller, and this in the current time it is acting as an additional domain controller, but it should act as a primary domain controller after migrating it. Okay, after migrating, of course, the Vismo roles from the old primary domain controller to this additional domain controller. So now we have our old primary domain controller booted up. Okay, so now it is booted up, and then we will boot the additional domain controller. Both have Windows Server 2012 R2 installed on them, and this is the only virtual machine, this is the only additional domain controller that has Windows Server 2022 Datacenter installed on it. So now we are booting the second virtual machine, which is the additional domain controller. Okay, and then we pause. Now we have both booted up, and then we have the third virtual machine, which is an additional domain controller but with Windows Server 2022 Datacenter installed on it. Okay, now we will run, or we will migrate the Vismo roles. To migrate the Vismo roles, we need to go to the primary domain controller, okay, and use the script, okay, to migrate it, or to migrate Vismo roles to this server. I will show you in a moment. But now I am logging into the additional domain controller. Okay, it will take some time logging in. Sorry for pausing the video a lot of times because actually my virtual machines are a little bit slow because my host hardware resources are not that much. Okay, so now we have our additional domain controller. We need to I think now I'm going to something shared on this machine. So here I'm copying some scripts, okay, from this virtual machine to the primary domain controller. Here I am copying the Vismo role script from my additional domain controller to my currently working primary domain controller. Okay, so I have a folder named server 2022 scripts. I will copy this script to my primary domain controller departition. Okay, through the run. Okay, you can type the run, then the name of the server slash the partition and dollar sign, because this is the hidden share, or the partition or the local partitions are shared but a hidden share. Now we are I have copied the script. We need to go and run the script on the primary domain controller. So we need to go to our primary domain controller, skn hqdc0112. We will log in with the domain admin account. Make sure that the account that you are using have enough privileges to run the script. Basically, if you have the domain admin account, that's fine. Okay, so Rauf, and then we will log in with this is the domain admin and this is the password. So we will open my computer or the server and then open the departition. Okay, and run the Vismo transfer script. Then edit. Okay, so it will take some time. Okay, we will pause the video and then open it back. Now we will run the first line in the script to query the Vismo roles to see if this server is currently holding all of the Vismo roles. So if we run the first line in the script, we will see that all of the 5 roles are currently on this server. So the schema master, domain naming master, PDC, red pool manager, the infrastructure master, all of these are held by skn hqdc0112. For some reason, when I run this script from this role and this role and this role, the 3 roles, domain naming master, PDC, red pool manager, these 3 are transferred to our new server that contains Windows Server 2022 data center on it. But as for the schema master and infrastructure master, they are not transferred directly. I need to repeat the process or to repeat again transferring these two roles in a separate script, or to run or to tell the script to only transfer these 2 roles separately from the other 3. We will see that in a moment. I will show you all what I mean. If I try to run the script, and by the way, I think the problem here that not the 2 did not transfer, but the schema master wasn't transferred, and after transferring the schema master, it should transfer the infrastructure master. So the script will stop here. It will only transfer the three, and there is some problem appeared here when trying to transfer this role, and the script stops here. So the other infrastructure role master or infrastructure master is not transferred. So uh, when you will see that if I try to transfer this role without the other four, it is succeeded. And if I try to transfer the schema master only, a problem will happen. Okay, it will not be transferred. I will solve it. I will show you all the solution, but take care about the problem when we are trying to transfer the Vismo roles. Okay, so this you may encounter. Okay, so now we will try to uh, now transferring the Vismo roles to, we can see here that you are transferring it to our new additional domain controller. After transferring them to him, it will act, or he will be changed from additional domain controller to primary domain controller. So this is DC122. So let's see if the Vismo roles will be transferred. So now he's transferring them one by one. You need to tell him yes to all. Okay, so this is a confirmation message for every role, I think. So let's wait and see. If you tell him yes to all, he will confirm yes for transferring all of them. Okay, so now we tell him yes. It will take some time, but an error will appear saying that it couldn't transfer the schema master. Okay, the schema master, there is a problem when transferring the schema master and infrastructure. When I try to query again the Vismo roles, we will see if it still hold the 5 roles. Now we can see that 3 of them, the domain naming master, PDC, red pool manager, all are transferred to 22, which is the new server. Only 2 of them are still be held by this server, which is the schema master and the infrastructure master. I will try to transfer this role only by itself, and it should succeed. And if I try to transfer this role seldomly or without the other 4, it will have an error. Okay, let's see that. So let's wait and see. So we can see that 3 roles are already transferred, 2 are remaining still. So what I will do, I will just delete all of the other 3 roles. Okay, and try to only transfer these 2, or the last 2. Okay, so now we will see that in a moment. Okay, but before that I need to also take some notes. We will open the run, and we will open a CMD shell. Why? Because you can transfer the schema master using the PowerShell or using the schema master console. Okay, the schema master console, it is not it will not appear by default on the domain controller. It is hidden. You need to type a certain command to activate the schema console, or to register the schema console so it can appear for you, so you can transfer it, okay, to another server. This can be done using the schema master GUI or graphical interface. But for this GUI to appear, you need to register the GUI, and then it will appear. I will show you all how this can be done, but we need to type it in a uh, certain sensitive letters. Okay, you should put it in a certain or type it in a certain order and in a certain format. Okay, let me show you all what is the one. If I go there again, sorry guys, if you go further again, so this is not still the command is right, but it is not written. You need to put the first letter. okay, the reg R to be capital, I think, and the S to be capital. Okay, there is some capital or sensitivity, or letters should be run in a certain order or in a certain format. Okay, so that's what I will do. I will only transfer the infrastructure, so I will not transfer the schema master. I'll try to transfer the infrastructure master. Okay, so now what we will do, I will only transfer the infrastructure master without the schema. You will see that it will be transferred. So this is the one that was blocking the transfer of the infrastructure master. Okay, so let's try and see if we run the command. Now tell him yes to all. It should be transferred without any problem. Okay, so that's good. Now if you query the Vismo roles again, we will see that you have only one role remaining, which is the schema master. So you can see here that all of them are transferred except the schema master. So we will do it on the PowerShell or through the schema console. Okay, so if I try now to move the schema master or transfer the schema master, an error will appear. This is the only one that made an error when I try to transfer it. Okay, so you can through PowerShell, it is or when I try to transfer it using the schema console, it was success. And if I try to move it from the new additional domain controller, it also was succeeded. Okay, so let's wait and see. Let me show you all what I mean. So wait for a moment. Now I thought that maybe because I didn't register the schema console, this was the problem for not transferring the schema master role, but I was wrong. This is not related. So here, let me show you all. When I try to type capital letter R regserve 32 and then type scheme mmg, the same, I wrote the same capital or the same spelling, but in a certain caps. Okay, some letters was in capital letter. You will see it will accept it, so it is case sensitive. Okay, so we can see now that if we wait for a couple of seconds, it will tell you that it was registered. Or now you can open the schema master. Now you can open the schema console. Okay, can open the schema console. I thought by registering the schema console I can now transfer the schema master role, but I was wrong. This was not related again. Okay, so how we can move it from the old PDC to the new PDC? We need to go to the new PDC and run the same command from there. So let me show you all first how we can do this using the schema console. We need to open our custom console and add the schema console, and from there you can transfer it, or we will go to the new PDC and try to move the schema or the remaining role, which is the schema master. So let's wait and see what I mean by this. If we go to the other one, so this is our currently additional domain controller. Okay, it now hosts, or now it has 4 Vismo roles from the 5. Okay, we have only one remaining. So you will see if I try to transfer the schema master role from the new PDC, okay, it is a success. Okay, so we will wait for a moment. As I can tell you, you can use 2 methods. You transfer the schema master from the schema console, or you can transfer it from the PowerShell command. You can choose any one of them, but the PowerShell seems to be more easy to transfer all of the Vismo roles once and for all. Okay, so now we'll open the admin console. This is our old PDC. Let's see, I think I have my battery. No, still. Okay, so now this is the new PDC. Remember, you can differentiate the old PDC from the new PDC. If you see number 12, this is the old PDC, which points to 2012 R2 operating system. If it is 22, then that means it is the operating system 2022. Okay, so now we can see we have an additional domain controller. Okay, this is still all of the domain controllers are now in the domain controllers container. If you open file and add snap-in, we will see that we can add the schema console. This can be added now. We can see here we have something called Active Directory schema. This is the one. You can add it, and then from it you can transfer the schema master. You can open Active Directory schema, then right click. We can see it is currently held by this server. Tell him operation masters, then we can transfer it, okay, from this option. Okay, this can be done using the GUI, and it can be done using the PowerShell as I have shown you earlier, but it made an error when I tried to do it from the old PDC. So now we can see you can tell him to change and choose the server or the domain controller that will hold the schema master. Okay, now we can go and run the same PowerShell command, but to only transfer the schema master, and you will see it will succeed. There is no problem in it. So I'm just delete all of the other roles and I leave only the schema master. But before that, I need to register the schema master console here, so later I can edit the schema if I need. So I will tell him run and then open a command prompt to register the schema console DLL, or register the DLL of the schema console so I can open the console. Okay, so now we will wait. We'll type the same command, but need to make sure that it is capital letter again. serve32 smhmmt.exe or DLL, and press enter. Still there is an error, but I think I didn't type it correctly. It is sevre or something. I think there is a problem with the letters. Okay, we will wait for a moment. Actually, it's a little bit confusing why it, you need to type it in case sensitive. I don't know why actually. But anyway, we will succeed later. Okay, so now it is not SRV, SVR, and then it's now registered. We can open the schema master from here, or the schema console, and you can transfer the schema master. Okay, so you can do it either way, from the old PDC or the new PDC, using the GUI or using the PowerShell. Okay, so now we will try to transfer the schema master. We will see it will finally succeed. Okay, it will take some time. So you need to tell him yes. So we need to transfer the schema master to the server. Now succeed. If you try to net query or will query the Vismo roles, we will see that all of the 5 roles are now transferred. So this officially is the new PDC of the domain, and the old one, it is changed from PDC to ADC. Okay, so now we have everything transferred. You can do this from the graphical interface from here or from the other server. So now we have succeeded. Now we need to transfer or to copy the backgrounds folder and put it on the new server and share it, and modify the group policies and modify the Active Directory login script. All of this will be done using the background script. Okay, we have discussed this in the previous video. Okay, so now we need to open the background script. And actually also I faced a problem in the background scripts because the background folder was not copied. Okay, so the rest of the script was not succeeded because all of this or the rest of the script depend upon that the backgrounds folder is already copied from the old PDC to the new PDC. So we will see that in a moment. Let's wait and see. So if we open the D partition, and then we will have By the way, there is a problem here. If we go further, I have already a folder called background 2. This is an empty one. I need to delete it first because this should not be there. Okay, this will be there after copying the backgrounds folders. It will be renamed to backgrounds 2. So it should not be there now. Okay, so if you try to see the script or apply the script, an error will appear saying that you have already backgrounds 2 there. It's already there, so it should not be there. So we need to delete it and wait until the backgrounds folder is copied, and then it will be renamed to backgrounds 2. So anyway, let's wait and see. And then we open the robocopy. This is the script that will copy the backgrounds folder from the old server to our D partition. Here is the problem, that when I try to tell him to copy the backgrounds folder to the D partition, it copies the content of this folder and put it on the root of the D partition. This is not what I mean. I need to copy the whole folder and put it on the D partition, not the content of the folder. Okay, so this can be solved by telling him to put it on D/backgrounds folder. I know it is not already there, but he will copy it, and or this will tell him to copy the whole folder. If you tell him to copy backgrounds and put it on the root, he will copy the content. If you tell him D backgrounds, he will copy the whole folder with all of its content. Okay, so let's see what will happen. And this is the login batch, or the newly active directory modified script that will point to the new backgrounds folder after transferring it. Okay, so let's wait for a moment. This is the login batch. Here is, you can see, this is my computer. This is the active directory login script, or the new active directory login script, and you can see here that this is already modified. It is pointing to the backgrounds 2 folder. This will be copied to the net login folder after the process of copying the backgrounds folder is done and the folder is renamed. Okay, I have showed you all this in the previous video. So let's wait, or let's try to apply the script and see what will happen. If we open the script and try to apply it, it will install the NTFS security module. It will import it. It will try to apply or to run the robocopy batch bat. A problem, it will be successfully done, but the contents, it is copied to the root, not the folder itself. Okay, so we will wait and see. So here, before running the script, here I have stopped the script and I realized that backgrounds 2 is already there, so I need to delete it. So this is what I have discovered, and I stopped the script. So I have already prepared the script, okay, and I stopped it and then deleted backgrounds 2 folder. Okay, so now we can apply the script, because if this was done with the backgrounds 2 folder there, error will appear. Okay, so now we are applying the script. And these are the group policies that will point to the new backgrounds 2 folder. These are ready made and they are backed up in a folder, and they will be imported to the group policy management console. Okay, so now let's wait and see. It will take some time. So now it's downloading this module from an untrusted website. You can tell him to continue, because this is the trusted one. Anyway, so now it's installing the package or the module, and then it will import it to the PowerShell module, or this session. It will import it to this PowerShell session. Okay, and then it will begin running the robocopy.bat, and here a problem will arise because the backgrounds folder is not copied. The content inside this folder is copied to the root of this server, which is the D partition, root of the D partition of this server. We will see now it's copying it, and it's giving you success for every folder copied. Okay, how much time it is transferred in, successful or not, if there is any errors, all of this, and the size of the file. So all of this is very good. This is the robocopy, gives you, it is a very good utility for copying folders in a fast way and to copy it with its permissions if you need. Okay, so now it's copying all of the backgrounds folder. So let's wait and see. Okay, so it's success. Now we can see that it tells you that D backgrounds is not there. He's trying to run this line. He can't find D backgrounds because it is not there. The content of the folder is on the root of the D. It's not there, and all of the rest of the script will not be applied. Only the last couple of lines, which it is concerned, uh, uh, or it is focusing on the group policy, it will be imported because it is there already. Okay. So all of the lines from this line to this line, renaming of the folder, setting the permissions, this is not applied because the D backgrounds is not there. Okay, we will see now. I will try to rectify the problem. We will go and see. If I go, we can see here that all of this content, you can see here the scripts or the registry keys and the folders are on the root D partition, not in a folder called background. So we will delete all of these files, okay, and modify the robo copy.bat file and tell him to copy the backgrounds folder, not the content. So we'll go to the login batch, not this login batch, sorry. We'll go to the server scripts, okay, or server 2022 scripts. Here you go. We'll tell him there and robo copy here and tell him edit, and then tell him to go to the D backgrounds. Okay, we'll copy the whole folder. Okay, so this will copy the whole content of the folder, and now all I need to do is to apply only 5 lines of the script. So most of the script or a part of the script is applied. I will apply the rest of the script manually. Okay, if this was correct, all of the script will be done successfully, but for some reason it was not. Now I am running the robocopy. Okay, so it is now copying the folders. Okay, we will see now if I applied or I run the script manually. We will go and see if it has copied the folder with its content. I will show you all. So now we can see very good utility, giving you every piece of detail. Okay, so we can see here this is the directory and it has 4 folders or 4 files under it. So this is very good. It gives you the folder and the content of the folder. Okay, how much files is there. So this is very good. Okay, so now if you go to the D, we will see that here is the backgrounds. Okay, so now we can go to our script and apply from here to there, or the 5 or these 5 lines. Okay, now we can apply it, and the rest of the script is already done, so we don't need to worry. So if you try to apply it, okay, it will take some time. And now after these lines are added, now our backgrounds folder is added, or it is transferred, renamed, shared. Our group policies are pointing to the new backgrounds 2 folder. Okay, all of this is done, so our second script is successful. Okay, so there is only one script remaining, which is for the NTP, or setting the NTP external servers. But before that, we need to change the network card setting for all of the 3 servers. We have discussed this also in the previous video, so we need to do this. Okay, so anyway, here I'm opening the run to see if this folder is shared. If you open this server and slash, we can see that the backgrounds folder 2 is already there, and you open the net login, we will see that my computer, okay, this is the script, my computer.bat. If we edit it, it will see it's now pointing to backgrounds 2 and the registry keys. So this is a success. Okay, now we have everything working perfectly. We need to modify the network card setting for every server. So we can see here everything is completely there. Okay, so we need to now change the network card setting for every server to point to the primary domain controller, the new primary domain controller, and to point to the additional domain controller which have Windows Server 2012 R2 on it. Okay, so this is one thing to take note. Okay, so now I think we'll open the network setting. I am sure they will open the network setting. So what I am doing now, I think I am copying another script, I think for the NTP server. Okay, this is a console, okay, already made console that contains the Active Directory, group policy, and all of the things. So the same console that we have on the old PDC, we have another console or the exact console on the new PDC. If we will open it, we will see the same things that we have seen on the old PDC, the Active Directory users and computers console, the DNS console, the event viewer, okay, but for locally for the machine, I think I need to change it maybe, okay, and a couple of things. Let's wait and see. And remember, we need to change the network card setting for all of the 3 servers to point to the new PDC and the additional domain controller, and to change the DHCP scope or the DHCP setting to point or to redirect the users to the new PDC and the new primary DNS and the secondary DNS. Let's wait and see. We'll do this in a moment. By the way, you can change the network card setting for the 3 servers by using a script, and also you can change the DHCP setting using a script. This can be done. Okay, so let's wait, see first. Here I need to go and open any one of these group policies. Any one of these group policy contains the background, or if you go to the setting or the group policy that will apply a certain background, we will see that it is now modified. It's now pointing to the new backgrounds 2 folder. Here I need just to make sure or to show you all that the background or that this group policy is changed. It's now pointing to the new backgrounds 2 folder. Okay, so let's wait and see, or we wait for a couple of seconds. Now if you go to the backgrounds from the user's configuration, we will see it's now pointing to the new backgrounds 2 folder. Okay, so if you go even the screensaver, so a lot of things actually, if you go to the background or the screensaver, it's now pointing to backgrounds 2. This was before old server and background folder. So now it is successfully imported. This group policy is successfully imported to this server. Everything is running perfectly. Now we need to change the network card setting. Oh, this is the NTP server script. Okay, so we will open it and we will set, okay, or tell him to sync this new PDC local time with a couple of servers. Okay, we have done this before in the old PDC, so we'll do this again on the new PDC because the old PDC will be demoted from the network. Okay, so now here it is. This is the script. Okay, we'll tell him to run it. Okay, and now we have applied the 3 scripts successfully. So everything is perfect. We need to change the network card setting, as I said before, to point to the new PDC and the new DNS, of course, and to the additional domain controller and the additional DNS. So I am applying it again just to make sure everything is working perfectly. So we need to go and open the network connection. So this is the part that we need to make sure that our preferred DNS and alternative DNS are the same on the three domain controllers. Okay, this can be done using a script. Okay, so we can do this using a script. I think, let me show you all something here. I need to go and say that to Google Brad. If you tell him I need to, let's tell him I need, okay, a PowerShell script to set preferred DNS and alternative, okay, DNS on network cards for servers that had joined the domain. So network cards for a couple of servers that had joined the domain. So let's see what the script that Google Browser will give us. Okay, so here we can see this is the script. So ignore. Here we can see that you give him the list server 1 and server 2, and then you tell him the DNS that you need to set, and then it will get the net adapter. Okay, here there's, I think there will be a problem. The interface index, so this is good. The interface index should be, I think we need to modify this a little bit. Why? Because there will be a couple of network cards on the okay, interface index network card. What is the network card? Network card get network adapter. Okay, computer name. So there will be a lot of network adapters. We have 3 network adapters on every server. So I think here we need to tell him to get a certain interface, or to set the IP or change the IP on a certain network card, which is the 2 teamed network card. I think here this should be modified a little bit, because there will be 3 network cards on this adapter. So what we can do here, we can tell him to do something to set it to uh, a certain thing. Okay, actually, anyway, so this interface index, I think here we can tell him to put the interface index directly without giving the network card name. So because this get adapter, if there is more than one network card, this will be a problem. Okay, so I think this maybe need to be modified a little bit, but anyway, this is a script, okay, that we can use. And if we go and copy this one, and let me go there and copy this one. So if we can copy this, okay, join it. Let's copy this one and try ChatGPT and tell it us the same one. Okay, and tell him to have the same script. Okay, so we can tell him del. Okay, join in the domain, and let's see how this will be done. Okay, okay, so he's giving here a more detailed script. If you go there and see here, you will tell him the name of the servers. Okay, let's wait here. This is the name of the servers, but I can't see the script as a whole. If you go further down and try to see the script like this and get up, okay, so we can see here that the script, it's a little bit if we go there and do like this, okay, so if you go up and see what it tells us, okay, it's where you need to identify the two server names and the two DNSs, and then to type the credentials, enter the credential to use to change the setting, and here you will tell him the adapter name. So this is good, I think. Search for adapter name in adapters, but here I think also this will be a problem because search for adapters, adapter interface index. I think we need to have a more detailed script to tell him to choose what network adapter to put the DNS setting on. Okay, so this is another script. If we go and tell we go to the same one and try to tell the Claude to do the same, if we do it like this and like this, and tell him like that, join the domain. Okay, I will modify my request to let me choose the network card that I need to set the preferred DNS on. If you go up, let me go up. So here this is the servers, and then for each server he will see the names and he will go for adapters, okay, for each adapter, so he will see all of the adapters, okay, and set the IP address on. So he will not succeed on two, at least he will go on the network teamed one, okay, I think, but we need to modify it. Tell him I need to modify the script to let me choose what network adapter to uh, change the DNS setting on. So here is telling get network adapters and then prompt the user to select a network adapter. So this is good. Here he will give me an option to choose what network adapter to set, because this is very good one. Okay, so select a network adapter. Okay, it will give me the network adapters so I can choose from it. So this is a very good one. We need to tell the same for ChatGPT. Okay, so this is one. Let's go and here is he told you to name the script dns.ps1, so you can copy the script and name it dns.ps1 and apply it. So let's go and tell the same thing to ChatGPT. If we copy it and tell ChatGPT the same, okay, we can go there and tell him like this. So here is the thing, the same. Okay, and enter. Yes, here is the same. Here giving the same thing. Here you let me choose which network adapter to set the DNS setting on. So this is a good one. Okay, the index of the network adapter, this is good. Okay, so this is one thing. Okay, or the name of the network adapter, so this is good thing. If we go and tell the same for Claude, okay, paste, and if we go there, okay, when looping through the servers, it filters the adapters to only get the one that matches the entire name. So this is good. Okay, so we have now 3 scripts we can use to set the DNS setting on the network adapters. Okay, and by the way, to change the DHCP scope, we have already done this before. Let me show you all the script. I think there is one thing. Here is the one concerning the DHCP. If we need to change the DHCP scope, this can be done. Okay, if yes, we can download this. Okay, we can see here that we can change. Where is the DNS setting? Okay, let me see. It is open. You need. Okay, okay, yes. So I think it needs a little bit. Okay, English. Okay, it's just a normal uh, update for the notepad. Okay, plus. Okay, run notepad. Okay, now I can open the same script that I was saying before. Where is the deploy DHCP? Okay, here we can. Where is the DNS? Okay, so this is the line we can use to set the DNS. We can change this 6 to 7 to 8 and 7. Okay, so we can use this line to set the DHCP scope using this line. Okay, so now we have two scripts to automate a part of the process that you were working on. Okay, you can do it manually, and I prefer to do this because this is the critical process. Anyway, this can be done using scripts. So let's continue. I think now I'm still recording. Yes, okay. So now we are opening every. So this was the problem because I have a couple of network cards. So the script will not know which one to set the IP address on. So now we are opening the properties. We need to make sure that this is the properties. Okay, we need to make sure that the preferred DNS and alternative DNS are the same on all of the servers. Okay, so 8 and 7. Okay, close. Okay, we'll do this on this, and we'll do this on the old additional or old PDC and the additional domain controller. So we'll do this on both. Okay, so now we can see that how the AI helps us so much in giving us scripts that ease the process of you as a system administrator. Before that, you need to search Google and see a lot of websites. This is more direct, and you can uh, alert your query or request, and he will comprehend, and he will give you a modified script according to your needs. Anyway, so this is the team network card, and we will go to the properties, and then go to the TCP IP setting. Okay, for properties, and we tell him to 8 and 7. So this is one, and we need to go and do this for the additional domain controller. So this is, we can see now everything is perfect. Now we need to go to the additional domain controller. So this is the additional domain controller, and then we go to it and log in, and then begin changing the network adapter setting. As I said before, we can do this using a PowerShell script. This can be done in 1 second, a couple of seconds actually. So this is why we use PowerShell. PowerShell will save you a lot of time actually. And but here, and I'm doing a migration process, I didn't put in my mind that maybe I need to automate these two processes. Okay, but at that time the AI was not there, and actually I didn't think of it. Okay, so now if we open uh, uh, our new console, we will see the DNS. Okay, everything is there. Okay, so this is the DNS. If you try to go and see the properties, here is a little bit of a problem here. here we need to do to the forward DNS, we need to remove this. Okay, this is not correct. Okay, this is a problem. Okay, this should be the router, the IP of the router, or Google DNS. So we need to remove this one. Okay, this was a problem. I don't know why it was done like this, but actually I think this is because of the script of David Rodriguez. Okay, so anyway, so we need to remove this one. Okay, so I'll delete it, and then we can use this two forward DNS. Okay, so this is one thing. Applying okay, we need to make sure that this is the same on all of the domain controllers. So this is one thing. So it's coming to an end, guys. We need only to make sure of the network adapter on the same network adapter, or all of the servers have the same preferred DNS and alternative DNS. We can see now that the background is a little bit changed. Why? Because the group policy now is changed to point to the new backgrounds to folder, and this group policy doesn't stretch the background. It is in full size. Okay, so this is one difference you can see. Okay, so now we open the team properties, and then just a moment, guys. So let's continue, guys. Now we need to change the last network card. Okay, so now, and I think after that we can demote the old PDC safely. Okay, so now this is the TCP setting, and then we need to make it 8 and 7. Now close and close. So now everything is done. Okay, I think now everything is working. Oh, we forgot to change the HTTP scope. Okay, we need to change the HTTP scope setting. Okay, this is what we didn't do. Okay, I need to check the forward DNS is okay on all of the servers just to make sure everything is working. Okay, so that's it. That's good. So this is one perfect. I think I need to make this not up. This should be upper. Okay, in the order. Okay, not DNS of Google, but the router first. Okay. Anyway, we go to the HCP. Okay, I need to change the scope or the DNS setting on the DHCP. Okay, the distributed DNS setting. If we go to the scope and then server or scope options, we need to tell him the DNS servers to point to the new PDC, because without doing this, the workstations and servers will not be able to join the domain. Okay, so now this is 8 and 7, and add, and in order, this should be the first one. Okay, this should be the first one up, and that's it. So the last thing is to demote the old PDC. This will be done easily from the roles and features, or remove role and features, and this also can be done using a script. Okay, so you can do this using a script. Okay, you can tell him or the AI to get a script to demote the HCP or to demote the primary domain controller. This is easy, but I prefer to do it in the graphical interface just because this is a delicate process. Anyway, so this is good. Now we can go, and everything is working. Now we need to go and demote the server. Okay, so now this is our primary domain controller, the old primary domain controller. So by this we have done a very smooth process for migrating the PDC. Everything is working according to plan. The upcoming videos will begin migrating a lot of things. We'll migrate the abuse source, we migrate a lot of things. So tell him remove roles and features, and then we will remove this. So this will not be an additional domain controller, will not be an additional DNS. We will remove these two things on the server. This will be a normal server. After that you can, so you tell him to do, uninstall domain active directory domain services. This is the one that we need to remove, and the DNS, so we need to remove both. Okay, we need to remove active directory and DNS, and he will do both, by the way, don't worry. After removing this, this will be a normal server. After that you can unjoin it from the domain, or remove it from the domain, or unjoin. This is the specific term, unjoin it from the domain, and then remove it easily without any problem. Okay, so we'll remove the feature. So I think I can pass this real quickly. So what we will do, we remove the feature very easily. Okay, remove feature. So it will remove the console and remove the role itself. Okay, so, and it will remove the DNS as well, don't worry, it will remove the DNS. Okay, but one thing remaining here, that the record for this server is still in the DNS. Okay, you can, okay, if you to demote the server, you can remove the record or wait until it is removed after 7 days. Anyway, so now we can continue demoting the server. This is very simple. Tell him next. Okay, okay, it will also remove the DNS. Okay, and the global catalog. We will remove these two roles actually. So now I think, let me get a little bit quicker here. Again. So I need to have a look on this. Okay, so it's telling me the domain controller currently hosts the following roles. The roles hosted by domain controller require active functionality. If you proceed, some active domain service operations might be impacted. I think he didn't remove the DNS. Okay, so I think maybe later we need to go and remove the DNS. Okay, from this server. Anyway, we need to do this actually, but I think it will remove it. It will remove the DNS, but we need to make sure. Okay, so tell him proceed with the removal. Anyway, there is no problem actually, because the DNS is not used anymore. Okay, but we need to make sure not to leave any roles not used. Okay, anyway, the whole server will be demoted. Okay, so this is the password, or the new administrator local password, or the local administrator new password. Okay, he's assuming that the server will be out of the domain. Okay, so this is one thing also to take note. Next, here we will see that he can give you a script. You can have the script for demoting. So instead of reading all of these things, you can tell him to view script and download the script. Okay, do this in PowerShell command. Okay, so now it begin the process of demoting the server. So it will take some time. Okay, now starting. At the end, you need to restart. So stopping ServiceNet login. Okay, this is the thing, stopping KDC, removing Active Directory objects. Okay, so everything is done, but I think we need to remove the DNS as well. Okay, so now tell him to close and restart, and I will go to the server manager and see after that. So tell him to close, and we will log in again and see if there is any roles still on the server or not. So tell him to close and restart, and we'll log in again and see if this server is still acting as an additional domain controller and a DNS as well. So let's wait and see. So this will take a little bit of time. I think we can restart. Okay, restart. So we can restart. Okay, now we will log in again and we will see. We open the server manager. Let's see if the server is still acting as a domain controller. You can see the background is changed. So again, let's open the server manager and see what roles are currently on the server. Now, what I'm doing, I don't know actually what I'm doing here. Here I'm trying, yes, I will go to the Active Directory domain controllers OU and see if the server is still there or not. This is an indicator that the server is removed or it's not working anymore as an additional domain controller. Let's wait and see. We'll open the admin console. Okay, we can go further. Okay, it will take 1 minute actually. So if you go to the Active Directory domain services, Active Directory users and computers, here we can see that there is still a DNS record actually because the server is still in the domain. But if we go to the naming servers, we will see that it only contains 2 servers, the new PDC and the 8 and 7. Okay, so 1.6 is removed. Okay, for the naming server or the domain naming server. Okay, it's 8 and 7. Okay, if you go to the Active Directory OU, or sorry, the domain controllers OU, we will see that the server is removed. Okay, we will go there and Active Directory users and computers. Okay, didn't do this. So if we go to the additional domain controller, maybe I'll do it from the additional domain controller. Okay, if we open it, okay, open the console. Actually, I can do this from the new PDC anyway. So we will open the admin console. It will take some time. Okay, so we can wait. Anyway, I think I'll open the server manager from here and see. So I am shutting it down. Okay, fine. Shut down. And here I'll open the console on the. So if we open not the DNS, I need to see the Active Directory users and computers. Okay, this is not what I need. Okay, so the same, but no, I need the. So I'm shutting it down. Okay, okay, so I think this concludes for our video anyway. So this is the end of our video. Now we have promoted, or we have removed the old PDC. We have a new PDC. We have everything up and running. In the upcoming videos, we will continue migrating most features, WSOS, file server, DHCP, and make a new additional domain controller with Windows Server 2022 Datacenter installed or acting as an operating system. Hope this video was informative for you all, and thank you all for viewing. Thank you so much.